also was sold as a prisoner. So Joseph had a dream, ladies. And we're coming from Genesis 37, okay? Joseph had a dream, and in his dream, I'm paraphrasing this, ladies. In his dream, he dreamt that his brothers would bow down to him, right? And of course, him sharing this dream, they were a little insulted, and of course, they became envy. They had a little bit of jealousy and hatred towards their brothers, right? To say, I'm gonna bow down to you. So the father sent the brothers out out in the field to feed the sheep or whatever. And sometime while they was out there, Joseph's father sent Joseph out there to check on his brothers as well as take them some lunch, right? So he's out there looking for the brothers. He run into someone that said they left here and went to Dalton, I think it was. But nevertheless, before he even approached his brothers, y'all, the brothers saw him from afar because they recognized his distinctive tunic, or we call it a coat of colors that his father gave him, right? And so with that being said, as Joseph approaching them, they recognized him and they conspired to kill him. They conspired to kill him and said, hey, look, here come the dreamer. Let's kill him, throw him in the pit. We'll strip him from his distinctive tunic, kill him, throw him in the pit, and then say that a beast devoured him in the wilderness, right? And kind of concealed his blood. Because in their mind, once they kill him, let's see how far his dream come to pass, right? Let's see where this dream go. And I'm gonna stop right there for a moment, ladies, right? Because that lets you know that you got to be careful what you share. That's why when they say don't let your left hand know what your right hand know, when they say work in silence, because I know for a fact, I don't say some things behind closed doors. I know for a fact that your enemies are right there in your bloodline. Your enemies are right there in your circle. Your enemy, you may be sleeping with them, right? These was his brothers, okay? So they conspired to kill him and then had the audacity to say, let's see where that dream goes. Will let you know that they obviously believed in him, right? Because if you didn't believe that the dream he had said that y'all was gonna bow down to him, why even kill him, right? Think about it. So as we keep moving on, they threw him in the pit and they sold him to the Ishmaelites who was passing by, right? One of the brothers, Reuben, said, hey, let's not kill him. He's blood, he's flesh. Let's just throw him in this pit. But then when the Ishmaelites was passing by, they decided to do what? Make money off of their brother. They own flesh and blood, right? So Joseph was seemed like he was sold into Egypt, and then in Pharaoh's camp, and the same gift that he had, or talent, dreaming, he was able to discern some of Pharaoh's dreams, which allowed Pharaoh to promote Joseph, right? Where he rose to power up under Pharaoh's leadership. And then a famine hit Joseph's father and the brothers, whatever town land they were in. A famine hit their land, and the father sent them to Egypt in order to purchase grain, because he said, hey, they have some grain in Egypt. Y'all boys need to go to Egypt to purchase some grain so that we can live and not die. They traveled to Egypt, y'all, to purchase this grain. And guess who was over all of the land of Egypt? Because remember now, I told you Pharaoh promoted Joseph, and he was over the land of Egypt. Their brother was over the land of Egypt, ladies, right? And so the brothers did not recognize Joseph, but Joseph recognized the brothers, right? And they had to bow down to Joseph before Joseph would even allow them to purchase grain. And not just the brothers, everybody that came to purchase had to bow down to him, right? With that being said, y'all, Joseph recognized the brothers, and he threw them in jail for about 3 days, and then he gave them some ultimatums or whatever. But the moral of the story is this: Joseph told his brothers, what you all meant for evil, God meant for good, right? Because even if they wouldn't have sold Joseph into slavery, when that famine hit, they all would have died, because they wouldn't even, they wouldn't have the, not the power, but they wouldn't have the, what's the word I'm looking for? The connection. They had a connection. Their brother was over Egypt, right? So they had a connection in Egypt, somebody that was in authority, that recognized them, that was going to allow them to purchase the the grain, even though Joseph gave them the grain plus gave them money, right? And it was some other ultimatums that Joseph gave him, but I need for y'all to go read the story for yourself. It's in Genesis. But the moral of the story is, ladies, for you all to understand that there's purpose in your pain, right? There's several nuggets in this story, right? There's purpose in your pain, right? Joseph could have took the pain and the agony, because he begged his brothers not to sell him. He could have took that and just been miserable in prison, right? But he continued to use his gifts, use his talent wherever he was. He continued to use his gift and use his God-given talent, right? And using his God-given talent and gifts allowed him to rise to power. And that's what you need to understand, ladies. Just because you're not where you are, just because you're not doing what you want to do, there's still a purpose over your life. God still has a plan for your life. Do the best you can where you are. Use your gift and talent where you are. And when it's time for you to rise, you will rise, right? That's one nugget. Another nugget is you got to be careful what you say. When they say, don't let your left hand know what your right hand doing. When they say move in silence, because everybody around you are not happy for you. They smile in your face like they're happy, but they're not happy. Some people are chickens. They're going to be right there in the coop. Right? Some of us are eagles, lady. We soar high. There's a certain aptitude that you have to maintain in order to soar high, right? Some people don't even have that mindset to withstand the aptitude in order to soar high, right? Eagles come down, swoop down, get their prey, and they go on back up and soar. Chickens, they hang together, they flock together in packs in the chicken coop. So you got to know keep your circle small, ladies, right? And then just know that what the enemy meant for evil, God will bring good out of it. Last will be first, ladies. This is your season. Walk in it. This your girl, Lady D, coming back with your latest inspirational insight.